So this is the Melgeek Mojo68 plastic edition. It's the see-through keyboard and it's my first time checking out a keyboard like this. Currently it's priced at around $230 US, so that rounds out to around 1,000 Malaysian ringgit. Pretty interested to check out this keyboard, and again thank you to Melgeek for sending this over. Let's check out what we get in the box. First off, behind the box we actually have a few specifications about the keyboard. We can see it has a 4000 mAh battery, a polycarbonate case and a PBT keycaps. It supports Windows, Android, macOS, iOS and Linux, really nice. And it has the Gateron Pro Brown switches in here, so these are the tactile switches. But if you want other switches, you can check out their website, they have other offerings right there. And you can see it supports 3 modes of connectivity, has RGB, and these are the size and the weight of the product. Now let's unbox it and see what we get inside. And of course, with every keyboard you get the user manual. This is the user manual for the keyboard. Pretty interesting stuff inside. It covers everything from the mode switch to the light indicator on the keyboard, the Bluetooth pairing modes and switching modes, and instructions to their function keys and also to their website. And as for the accessories included, you get this black cable, so it's a type A to type C cable with an angle right here, 90-degree angle for the keyboard, so it looks more tidy. A really nice keycap puller included, but surprisingly there is no switch puller. And of course you also get the 2.4 GHz dongle. And that's everything included. Now let's check out the keyboard itself. So taking a look at the keyboard, of course you can see it's the 68 key layout, so it is a 65% compact layout, which is really nice and it's the sweet spot in my opinion. And we can see the overall transparent look and design to it like this. It looks really awesome. It says plastic here, and on the back it has this like off-white stripes to it, which look really nice. And of course you can see the clear writing right here because it is clear. And for the keycaps, this is the plastic keycap set. It is really interesting and it's in the MDA profile and it is PBT dice up. Looks really nice in my opinion. It gives a really kind of hype beast or really trendy look to it. And this is the side profile of the keyboard. As you guys can see, it is clear and you can look inside. It is the gasket mount. This is a gasket mounted keyboard, but it doesn't really provide any flex to it. And you can see the keycap profile right here, the MDA profile, which is pretty interesting in my opinion, and it looks really bizarre. And this is the front of the keyboard. We can see the clearing quotations and the name of the keyboard, the Mojo68 printed on it. Looks really nice. Again, it's transparent and you can see all the gaskets inside. And on the top side of the keyboard, we can see plastic in quotations, Burgerwork X Melgeek, so it is a collaboration on the design. And we can see the Type-C connection port and your mode switcher, so you can switch in between the 3 modes right here. And this is the back of the keyboard, or the bottom of it, and it looks really nice again with this design on it. And it does appear to have the length, width and height stated right here, and it has a fill printing on it and it looks really nice. And if you look closely inside the case right here, we have the MelGeek logo again inside the silicone, which is included in the case. And one really nice feature this keyboard has is the indicator light right here. It shows your caps lock, your battery life and what mode you are on. And if you squint and look on the top right corner, there is a neat keyboard not friends printed inside the keyboard. Overall, I think the design is really shocking and looks really nice to me. Now let's take a closer look at the keycaps, switches and stabilizers in the keyboard. So talking about the keycaps again, this is a really interesting keycap set. First off, it's the MDA profile, which is pretty interesting in my opinion. It's slightly rounded and has more indent to it. And this keycap is dice up PBT, so the printing on it is pretty nice and sharp. And the overall feel has like a matte texture on it. And I would say that the design is really interesting, kind of like again the off-white look or quotations all around. And as for the switches, these are actually really nice. They are from Gateron and it's from the Pro series of line. So what it basically means is that these switches come preloaded from the factory and they are pretty smooth and well looped out of the box. So as stated before, these are the tactile switches, so these are the Gateron Pro Brown switches. But if you're not into tactile switches, there are other options on their website. Moving on to the stabilizers, these are actually some pretty normal stabilizers included. They are just plate mounted and they do appear to be lubed again from the factory, and they're pretty stable in my opinion, and they're tuned pretty good as well. But one thing I noticed is that these stabilizers are actually not clipped, so the feet are a little bit wobbly and might rattle when typing. And as for the PCB in this Mojo68, it's actually hot swap, and that's really nice. It's 5-pin hot swap and it's south facing, and that's a plus. So it basically fits all of the switches in the market, and if you want to use cherry profile keycaps, there's no problems with this keyboard. And one thing I have to note is that the PCB is really nice, and you can see all of the wordings on there, like the backspace has the backspace wording, the spacebar has the spacebar on it, and of course other keys have all the words on it. Other than that, in this keyboard there's also already poron foam included, so in between the plate and the PCB there is some poron foam, and inside the case there is some silicone dampeners on the bottom which we can see through the case, which is white in color, and it helps a lot with sound dampening. So far everything included does appear to be really nice, and I'm really interested to hear how it sounds like. So let's move on to the typing sound test to hear how it sounds like straight from the box. And it appears that this keyboard does sound quite good. With all of the mods it comes with the loop stabilizers and switches, and the poron foam included in the case along with the silicone dampening, I think it sounds pretty good for a keyboard like this. But I would say the main selling point of this keyboard is how it looks like and not how it sounds like. This plastic edition really looks very different from all of the custom mechanical keyboards out there. I think if this fits your style, you're really drawn to it and you really want to get your hands on it. So props to MelGeek for actually making this keyboard. It looks awesome and it sounds great as well. So if you're interested in getting the Melgeek Mojo68, do check out the links in the description below, and I would like to say thank you to MelGeek for sending this keyboard over for a review and sponsoring this video. You can check out more about MelGeek on their website, and they have a lot of other offerings and keyboards as well. So that does it for this video guys. Leave a like on this video if you liked it, dislike this video if you didn't like it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I have even more keyboard content coming very soon, and as always, thanks for watching. Goodbye guys.